Hey, shalom, Brother Otis. Okay, we're going to continue with the topic. The topic, once again, being heaven. We were showing you the different types, or I should say the different uses of the word heaven. We've accomplished a lot. This is actually like the beginning of the fifth part of this series, because it's really extensive. What we have now, the last scripture we went over was Job chapter 1, and we started from verse 1. But what I'm going to do, just to rehash, I'm going to pick up from verse 6. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up from verse 6, and and we're going to go all of verse 1. And I'm sorry, all of chapter 1, and then and most of chapter 2 of Job, just to show you the concept of heaven. Now, while we're going here, for the most part, we're showing you a dynamic that was taking place in, quote, the spiritual realm, which we call, and it's also in the scripture referred to as heaven. More specifically, Paul referred to it as the third heaven. The first heaven, once again, recapping it, being the ozone layer, or what the Bible refers to as the firmament. It says it put a barrier. It didn't use the term barrier. It said the Lord created a firmament. And the intention was to take and separate the elements that would be on the inside of it from the elements that would be on the outside of it. And it was called heaven. So that was that first use of heaven. We call it skies. You know what I mean? You have different levels of, quote, the atmosphere. The Most High calls it heaven, and he calls the different levels of atmosphere the heavens of heavens. That's what he called them. Then we went on to talk about the use of the word heaven when referring to the kingdom of men and the dynamic that's included in it. Wars, power, rulership, authority, things like that. We went through that quite exhaustively also. Now, and just last week we were touching on the spiritual realm. We also showed you that, like the scripture said in the book of Acts chapter 7, that the Most High's throne is heaven. He said, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. What house shall he build me? So, going back and recapping, we're going to start, and I'm going to be reading and breaking down the scriptures today. We got Brother Abiyathazar on the camera today. So, like it says, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also, or it says, and Satan came also among them. Now the beautiful thing about this is, we also, in describing the definition or the use of the word heaven, when referring to the realm of men, we showed you in Isaiah chapter 14, that prophecy of Satan, or excuse me, Lucifer, falling from heaven was a prophecy about Esau, the so-called white man, losing his authority, his position in the world in the future. Then we came back and showed you, excuse me, in Revelation chapter 12, where it says there was a war in heaven and Satan was cast out. Now that, once again, is speaking of the same character that is being spoken of in Isaiah chapter 14. It's talking about the Edomites, biblically, the so-called white man losing his authority in intergalactic battle with Christ, quote, Michael, the head of the armies of heaven, and versus the so-called white man's armies here on earth. That's what that's talking about. So the point I'm making is, what? In other words, the proof that was all prophecy is here is Satan, right? In other words, if Satan was cast out of heaven, why is he here presenting himself before the Most High? I'm going to read verse 6 again. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, proving this dynamic was taking place. When it says the sons, it's talking about all the angels coming before the Most High and having to give an account of their works, what it is that they each are responsible for. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Meaning, where you coming from? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and walking up and down in it. So if Satan was cast out of heaven, quote, if those verses or those scriptures in Isaiah chapter 14 and Revelation chapter 12 is talking about the spiritual demon Satan many years ago, being cast out, then why is he here presenting himself before the Most High? And then when asked by the Most High, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been up and down in the earth. If he's telling the Lord, oh, where I'm coming from, I've been up and down in the earth, obviously the place that he's reporting to is, quote, the spiritual realm, or aka heaven, before the Most, like the Most High referred to the place where his throne is. Heaven is my throne. So this is proof that this is talking about the spiritual realm. All right, and the other prophecy, or the other verses are talking about a prophecy that's talking about the fall of the so-called white man. All right, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one who feareth the Most High and escheweth, meaning rejected, evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God, or doth Job fear the Most High for naught? No, Job don't fear you for nothing, is what Satan is asking the Most High. Does he fear you for nothing? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So Satan is saying, well, Job has every reason to fear you and eschew evil. He said, you done blessed Job. You got Job. When it says hedge, that means protected. Everything concerning Job, his family, Job's children, his sons, they were all protected. In other words, the Most High had him spiritually where they could not come and touch or affect any of Job's things. It says, thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Meaning the Most High made Job's work prosperous. Excuse me. So that Job literally was a wealthy man. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. This is what Satan is wagering that Job will do in the event that he suffers the loss of all of these things. That's what Satan said. Now, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put forth not, let me read it again. Verse 12. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy hand. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So what Satan said was, Satan told the Lord, if you touch his possessions, he'll curse you in your face. Then the Most High in turn said, okay, everything he got is yours. So it's showing you, Satan was being used, and the scripture shows you that Satan was being used and is used as an extension of the Most High. When Satan asked the Most High to put forth his hand, the Lord said, okay, Satan, you got it. Because Satan is one of the extensions of the Most High. Loosely referred to in the scriptures as his left hand, meaning the severe side, the severity of the Most High. So, moving on, verse 13. The end of verse 12. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Now, let me say this. Listen, so Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Where was the presence of the Lord? Once again, Acts chapter 7, verse 48 and 49. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. So Satan went forth from heaven. In other words, Satan departed from that spiritual realm and began to manifest himself in forms that would affect Job's life. We're going to read about those. And there was a day when his sons, talking about Job, when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So basically, Job suffered the loss of his property. Like I said, what was happening was Job's oxen, his cattle for the most part, oxen and asses, and the Sabians. Now, let me say this: the Sabians are a group of people, a group that comes out of the seed of Ham, particularly Cush. Alright? So when you read Genesis chapter 10, it'll tell you that Cush, the father of the Babylonians, had a specific